Grade 12, Theory Notes, Module 2.1, Internet Services and Connections. What is the Internet? We've looked at this since grade 10. When you're defining the Internet, you want to mention that it's a worldwide computer network, consists of computers and networks that are linked using different types of ways to connect. Are they telephone lines, undersea cables, satellite, microwave connections? Why? For the purpose of communicating and sharing resources. The different types of networks that we have covered, we've covered a personal area network and a home area network in grade 10. A local area network in grade 11. Now in grade 12, we're looking at wide area networks and global area network. Wide area network, it's a network that is spread over a wide geographical area, such as a city, province, country, or even continent. The purpose of the WAN is to facilitate communication and transfer of files over a wide geographical area. So we're looking at networks particularly covering, maybe you've got banking infrastructure and it's all over the world. You're able to access your stuff no matter what country you go to. Examples, business networks like Pick and Pay, they have all their shops throughout the country linked together. Banking networks in South Africa, F&B, Nedbank. No matter what F&B you go to, you're able to access your information, the ATM. The internet, sometimes it's referred to as a global area network again. Equipment that is needed to connect to a network. You need a network adapter. So that's over here. If you don't have a network adapter where you can plug in a network cable, you can also purchase looks like a little flash drive, a little tiny flash drive, which is the network adapter, but that will obviously only allow Wi-Fi connectivity. So your network adapter, hardware that can be added to a computer, makes it possible to connect to a network. These days, most computers and laptops have a built-in network adapter. It's built into the motherboard, and you just have to connect your cable. Network cables, these cables are used to connect a computer to a local area network or to connect one network to another network. Hubs, switches, or routers, these devices that allow multiple computers to connect the same network. Okay, so yeah, we've got our example, and at the back you'd have different ports where you could plug in the cable on the one side, and the other side of the cable would plug into your PC. Internet connections. Well, in order to connect your device to the internet, what are you going to be needing? Well, you need a computing device, whether it's a computer or a smartphone or a tablet. Could be a gaming console, smart TV. You need an ISP. So how are you getting internet at your house? You need to have some kind of ISP that you've entered into agreement with. It could be someone like MWeb, Telkom, where you've got a fiber line installed. Could be Telkom or Vodacom, where you're buying data. Type of internet connection, is it a cellular connection, so using your device's data? 3G, 4G, 5G is sort of just around now. Or is it a wired connection, so you have ADSL or fiber installed, and you are then able to have devices connect. Remember, with a wired connection like ADSL or fiber, Wi-Fi is allowed. So Wi-Fi would be sitting on your router that's going to allow devices to connect to this wired connection using Wi-Fi. ISP, a company that has a permanent fast connection to the internet. These companies sell internet access and services to individuals or organizations for a monthly fee. So every month, you'll pay an amount and you'll get access to the services of the ISP. Examples, MWeb, Telkom SA, MTN, Vox, AfriHost, Vodacom, Rain, Cybersmart. Services offered by your ISP. Email, you can get an email address with them. Web page hosting, if you wanted to do that. Wireless and wired internet access. Fax to email. Spam filtering. Okay, so most people would prefer a broadband connection. Broadband being a high-speed, high-bandwidth connection to the internet. Bandwidth being the total amount of data that can be transferred from one point to another in a given period of time. And we normally work in megabits per second. Criteria to consider. Well, firstly, mobility. Do you need the connection to be fixed, or you can have Wi-Fi in a certain range? Or do you actually need a mobile connection so that when you're on the move, the internet is able to move with you? The speed of the line or connection. Most ADSL connections are measured in megabits per second. Typical line size could be about 4 megabits per second. I would say probably in 2021, the average size is probably looking at 10 megabits per second. ADSL is sort of being phased out in South Africa, so the 10 megabit per second line would probably be your fiber line. The faster the connection, the more you pay. So to get a 20 megabit per second line, you're going to be paying a lot more than what you would pay for a 10 megabit per second line. The fastest fiber speed in South Africa in 2017 was 1 gigabit per second. Super fast. The speed you get depends on the package you choose, the number of people using the service at any given time. CAP. So ISP offer data bundles which provide different limitations in the amount of data that can be downloaded and uploaded in a month. The limit amount is known as a cap. Uncapped packages are available, but these are more expensive. So maybe you only get access to 20 gigs a month or 10 gigs of data. Fair usage policy is a data limit placed on uncapped internet accounts. So they say it's uncapped, but there actually is a limit. And if you exceed the limit, so according to this policy, your internet account will not be capped or limited unless you use too much data, in which case your internet access may be slowed, it's called throttled, to the point where it's unusable. Many uncapped internet accounts have strict fair usage policies that will catch unsuspecting users off guard. Shaped or unshaped. So, shaped connection, preference is given to certain services on the internet, so they work faster, and those that do not have preference work much slower. An unshaped connection means services are given the same priority. ADSL, Asymmetric Digital Subscribers Line, is a permanent digital connection to the internet using a normal telephone or landline. The connection is split into 2 channels, one for making a normal phone call, one for connecting to the internet. Companies like Telkom are currently phasing this out in South Africa. Fiber is becoming the standard. Fiber is one of the exciting developments in fast internet connection for homes and businesses. Data is transmitted along thin glass tubes. The ability of fiber to carry far more data at a time makes it much faster. South Africa is becoming common as fiber has been installed in many areas. In the past 2 years, particularly living in Cape Town, we've seen lots of the roads being dug up to allow these fiber lines to be put in. And different areas have different prices, so you just phone around to see what the best price is available. It's a lot more affordable with uncapped and capped options available. ADSL is cheaper than purchasing cellular data. Obviously, we're looking at maybe you're wanting to do things like watching Netflix and things like that. ADSL on fiber is more stable than cellular connection. Most ADSL routers have Wi-Fi connectivity, so you can connect devices from anywhere in your house and be sort of in the move on your property. Your ADSL connection is only mobile within your physical location. It cannot cover a huge area. I guess another disadvantage of wired connection would be load shedding. Unless you've got specialized equipment, when the power goes off, your internet access goes off and you can't actually keep using the internet. But there's a couple of different things that you could purchase in order to keep your fiber line up to allow Wi-Fi to happen. So there are definitely different tools and technologies that have been invented to help us in the South African market with these kind of problems. What about Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is a way of connecting to an existing ADSL or fiber connection wirelessly. Wi-Fi at a public hotspot, so at a hotel or restaurant, can provide you with cheaper or even free access as you're connecting via somebody else's internet connection. You do want to be careful. Public hotspots not always private. You could be putting your device at risk to get things or having people hack in, so definitely be careful what you're doing on a public hotspot. At home, you can use your ADSL or fiber router which has a built-in Wi-Fi adapter to create your own Wi-Fi network, which allows your mobile device to benefit from the fast, cheap internet access provided by the fixed line. So you can actually, if you're in Wi-Fi for most of your day, you can actually reduce the amount of data you're obviously purchasing per month. Okay, so cellular technology. So we're looking at 3G, 4G technology really. 5G is kind of starting to be rolled out. This technology is implemented by a cellular communications company using the existing infrastructure. So we're looking at data on your phone. So wireless connection, advantages, 24/7 access to the internet from anywhere in the world. You don't need a computer to access the internet. A smartphone or tablet can also access the internet. Cables are not required to connect to the internet. Super useful. Disadvantages: if your area is poor coverage, the connection will be limited or slow. You never escape communication, which can result in information overload, and your online privacy or security could be an issue.